I'm Nancy, 48 years old. I've been living with my husband and his mother since a few years ago.
Nancy, do you know where my socks are? I want to go for a walk, but I can't find them.
Gwen, are you wearing two socks on your right foot?
Oh, you're right. No wonder it was uncomfortable to walk.
We start living with her when she is diagnosed with dementia. But thankfully, her symptoms are still mild. And I only need to take care of her from time to time. Your foot must be feet warm from 2 layers of socks, keeping it away from cold.
That's true.
I hear some people turn to quick temper, but she's more like an innocent young child. I suppose my stress from home care is nothing compared to some others.
Come, let's go for a walk together.
After fixing up her socks, we go out for our daily walk. Even though her symptoms are mild, I can't let her go out alone. Since I've switched to working from home and taking care of her, I've been surprised and distracted by her absurd actions, but my days have been quite peaceful with her.
By the way, I haven't seen Johnny lately.
If he's misbehaving outside, I will scold him, okay? Gwen mentions at the dinner table. He's coming back tomorrow. This business trip is longer than usual.
Ah, I see, business trip. I thought he was just wandering around somewhere.
She sounds a bit disappointed, which makes me chuckle. Were you about to punish him? My husband Johnny is not a bad guy, but he is too laid back, which sometimes is problematic. He easily gets lost in time with work or hobbies, and he is irresponsible with money as well. I have to give him his allowance bit by bit, otherwise he spends it all at once. It's been Gwen's role to scold him every time I'm troubled. She used to be a scientist. She has a striking way of grilling Johnny with her logic, and it's entertaining to watch him unable to counter. I suppose my relationship with my mother-in-law is much more harmonious compared to some others, hence we are able to live peacefully together. In spite of that, as Gwen mentions, Johnny has been absent from home more often. He says he's working harder as my income is reduced due to the change in my work style. But I have a mixed feelings. That's because our financial status hasn't been affected since we moved in with Gwen and there is no rent to pay. I would rather have him spend more time with his mother, so I want him to come home sooner than later. He has been coming back quite late and having more business trips in these 3 months. When he's finally back this time, and I'm taking out his laundry from his suitcase, I found undershirts that I haven't seen before. Hey, where did you get these undershirts?
What?
He looks trivially surprised by my light-hearted question. They were in your suitcase. They didn't look like the ones I bought for you, so I was wondering.
Oh yeah, I bought them. The ones you packed were old, weren't they? They were torn.
Really? I packed everything new. Did you tear them?
Are you sure? Maybe they were poorly made.
Oh, I see. His suspicious behavior makes me skeptical. Patch, don't you think it's strange? I speak to Patch, the stray cat who has been adored by Gwen. He's now friendly with me too. Well, he only meows when I speak to him. I checked thoroughly afterward, and I smell a scent of perfume too. Is it an affair? When I rub Patch's fluffy stomach, he pats me back with his soft paw. Are you comforting me?
In that case, let's investigate.
Oh my God, Gwen, were you listening?
If you have a doubt, act right away. Don't worry, he's careless, so he's incapable of hiding anything. There must be pieces of evidence left behind.
She chuckled. Have you already made the assumption that he's cheating? I winked at her, but I decided to hire a private detective. Of course, I'm going to prove that he's innocent. However, no way. I can't believe my eyes looking at the report. When Johnny is back from his business trip and laying on the sofa, I ask him quietly, I have an important talk with you. He seems to sense my seriousness and sits up on the sofa. Do you have something to tell me?
What?
He flusters, which makes me sigh deeply. Do you have something to tell me?
What's going on?
You have something to say, don't you? I look into his eyes just as Gwen does to him when she questions him. He looks down.
I'm sorry, business trips are half lies.
He keeps his head down and can't find words anymore. Who have you been seeing? Where have you been going?
Well, honey.
The more I question, whiter his face becomes, and his eyes shift all over the place. So you don't deny that you're going somewhere and seeing someone, right?
Well,
his face is distorted from discomfort. I stare at him with heaviness in my chest. Do you spoil her child?
What? How do you?
He's now pale as a ghost. I asked you about your undershirts the other day, right? Afterward, I went through your suitcase and noticed a slight scent of perfume, so I had you follow. I showed him a picture of him, his girlfriend, and her child smiling.
I had a fling out of my drunkenness 10 years ago. As soon as I found out she was married, I never contacted her.
Once he takes a plunge, he starts pouring out the details.
But a few months ago, she suddenly showed up and told me that she was divorced and raising a child alone. She was struggling with her life and wanted me to listen, so we went for a drink. While we were talking, we started having feelings again. But when she asked me to divorce you, I said no. I did dismiss her request.
He glances up while he's telling me his excuses and keeps talking.
But then, she said the child was mine. I denied that it was impossible. And then she asked me to do the DNA test. I was sure I wasn't the father, but I was. On top of it, the reason she was divorced was that her ex found out about it. My kid is really happy to find the real father. That I'm having a hard time leaving them, you know.
He tells all that at once and then trails off. What do you plan to do from now on?
Well,
He flusters again, and I sighed heavily. If I didn't find out, you thought you could work it out, huh? I'm sure I would have discovered sooner or later. To begin with, I'm handling all the finance in this house. I've been wondering why your salary doesn't increase despite the late night and business trips. Then I found the undershirts and the scent. Don't you think it's crazier to not notice? Aside from that, if this girl is really your daughter, you need to settle things out for her future. Let's discuss this in a week. Think hard about it. However, just 5 days later, inconceivable things happen.
Nancy!
I run to Gwen, who is holding a manila envelope in her hand. Inside, there were divorce papers and a letter. I see that he's already signed the papers. The letter reads, Dear Nancy, I thought over and over and decided to leave you. I wanted to focus on my daughter and her future. I couldn't leave her and her mother while they struggle with money. I had never thought that I wanted a child, but I fell in love with my daughter. Please divorce me. I wish to spend my life with my new family. I have a responsibility as a father. Please look after my mom. You two get along well, so I feel comfortable leaving her with you. Take care, Johnny. You want to talk about it? Gwen put her hand softly on my back. I can't hold my tears and start bawling. I tell her everything and read the letter, and then she holds me tightly in her arms. I can't forgive my own son for what he's been doing. He needs to learn his lesson. Who does he think he is? I will support you in whatever you decide to do. I'm ready to hunt him down till the end. Don't be shy and tell me what you want to do with him. I'm astonished by her rage. It is incomparable to when she normally scolds Johnny. My mind starts to see the situation differently by watching her. Gwen, I was wrong. I told myself to think about the child and wanted to listen to what Johnny had to say. I looked at it from the third person's perspective, but that was crazy. I haven't told him how I feel at all, and he doesn't even show any concern towards me in the letter. He writes about me like a helper. I can't stand it. I'm going to retaliate against him. The bubbles of anger are coming out of me now. We get down to coming up with our strategy right away. I'm going to ruin you. And then his payday arrives. Gwen and I are eating dinner when we hear shuffling at the front door. He's here. Gwen giggles. We hear a knocking on the door. Who is it? I respond coldly and look out from the window. There is Johnny looking agitated on the porch and asking me to open the door. Oh, even though you've left your wife and your own mother behind, you want to come back after just a couple weeks? Gwen comically says and pops her head out beside me.
No, I don't want to come back. Give me back my paycheck.
He yells impatiently. But you have your own bank card and cut mine off.
You took some out.
Reason why he's in such distress is that Gwen and I have convinced his office to change the payable account. Let's take his salary. When Gwen first mentions it, I think it's impossible and her symptoms are worsening. But he cheerfully says with a smile, It's out of question to have his salary deposited into someone else's account. However, if it's another account of his, there's no problem. What? She makes a call to his office. Mr. C, it's been a long time. How have you been? I would like to ask you for a favor today. She has been a good friend of a CEO for a long time, and he also thinks the world of her. He willingly accepts her request after hearing the circumstances. Your paycheck is in your account for sure. I also have another account under your name. I forget to tell you though. The kind of relationship the CEO and Gwen has makes it possible, and he agrees to pay into the account that she had opened an extra life savings for Johnny.
It's my money.
Yes, it's your salary. And as long as Nancy is your wife, you must pay her a portion from it.
What?
He is stunned by Gwen's reply. Johnny, I still have a divorce paper. I haven't signed or submitted it. We are still married.
Why?
To be honest, I have thought to get it done and over with immediately. But Gwen and I realize that it's worth staying married while we go through our plan. I'm saving the divorce papers for the time being. If you really want to divorce, you shouldn't just leave it to me, but make sure that I sign and submit it, you know. That's all I say and draw curtains and walk away from the window. Of course, the door lock has been changed, and a sturdy bolt lock as well. All the windows are shut and locked, and the video surveillance is installed and working normally. Johnny walks around the house and sees if there is any opportunity to get inside, but he gives up in the end. Here, you can use it for whatever you want. No way! Gwyn passes me an ATM card, but I don't plan to touch the money. My own paycheck is enough to live for now. Even though I take it from her hand, I immediately put it in a safe place. A few days later, Johnny visits again. We've asked him to come with his daughter and her mother.
Huh? Why? Mr. C?
Yes, he offers to act as a witness today. We have a DNA test kit for a legal paternity. I smile broadly, to which Johnny returns an unpleasant look.
I've already told you that the result has been out.
But I haven't seen the actual collection of specimens and the result on paper. Johnny reluctantly agrees when he sees my intent glare. You don't look comfortable with it. Is there some problem if we check? It's not a big deal for us. It's up to you to decide. But we have told you that we will change back the account and finalize the divorce if you agree to one request, right? Our request is to take the specimens in front of us and prove the paternity of your daughter. Mr. C is here to be the witness as mentioned before.
Okay. Just do it and get it done with. As long as this ends here, I don't care.
Johnny sighs heavily and grabs the test kit, but his girlfriend looks white as a ghost. Oh, why? Are you leaving? She backs away slowly, roughly pulls her daughter's hand, and without a word, she turns around and runs out the door.
Wait!
Johnny is stunned by her escape. Her action proves that she has been lying, but we're not done with Johnny. Gwen says to him, who is left alone in shock. If it was me, I would take the test and pocket the money for now, and then before the result is out, I would plan an escape. Maybe she's not that clever, is she? She laughs out loud, to which I make a mental note. Dementia or not. Never step on the wrong side of her foot.
But what do you mean, my child?
Did she really test your specimens? I waved the additional report from the investigation. Your girlfriend gets around. It's amazing that she approached every single guy she has slept with around the time she conceived. But true love is only one. She has been together with a guy since high school who is currently unemployed. He seems to be the father.
No, that can't be.
Why don't you go and check? His current address is on the report. He scowls at me and hastily runs out of the house with the report in his hand. Such a fool! Gwen shrugged her shoulder. We thank Mr. C for coming all the way amidst his busy schedule. He gladly accepts the gift of wine and gives us a big hug when he leaves. We throw away the DNA test kit as it is useless now. Later on, Johnny comes back knocking on the door. We look at each other expectantly with wide smiles.
I'm told she's not my daughter. On top of it, my savings is all gone. She keeps denying it even though I show her my bank statement.
The porch light shone a disappointed Johnny like a spotlight in the dusk. Gwen and I watch him in despair and smile discreetly. And what do you want now? Gwen asked, holding her laughter.
What do you mean?
He mumbles like a little boy, but she doesn't hold back. This is a house of a wife and a mother you have left behind. You have left on your own will.
so I can't let you come back just because you change your mind. Mom? Mom? Who are you calling that? We are like strangers as soon as you get divorced. Besides, I have a very precious daughter who is willing to look after me, even though I have troublesome dementia. I doubt that there is a son who can abandon his sick mother anyway. Johnny tears up with a grim look on his face. On the contrary, I tear up from the happiness of being called a precious daughter. Please take the envelope in the post and leave. The money you need for the time being is separated into smaller envelope inside. If you use it all at once, you won't last until your next paycheck. Be careful. You will get the full paycheck from next month. Nancy, you're the only one for me after all. If you still care about me, we can restart, can't we? His face brightened up, but I have absolutely no intention to do so. That envelope is my last kindness to you. Take care of yourself. Wait, please. It was all my fault. I will never ever make the same mistake. Please forgive me. With a bang of the door, he is shut out by Gwen. After that, we sold the house and moved out. Gwen makes me her legal guardian before her dementia worsens, and I'm now able to move all the assets as I wish. Her meticulousness renews my respect for her. She has chosen to live at a residential care facility, and I have my own apartment nearby. It gives me peace of mind to be close to her. I'm back to my full-time work now. As soon as all the legal matters and the relocation were done, I finally submitted the divorce paper and demanded alimony. Gwen has forced the lawyer to collect all the money in Johnny's extra savings account, which she had opened for him, and Johnny gave up without a fight. I'm a bit sad about losing the status of her daughter-in-law, but Gwen and I will continue having a great friendship. I'm leaving you to be with a lovely, attractive woman, and I will give you a share of my retirement payment to my new wife. I've discussed it with you. I can't help but laugh. I know how you feel. I don't care, but you will regret it. Huh? You're a sore loser. I never regret anything. I felt sorry for my husband. He doesn't understand anything. My name is Anna, a 62 years old housewife. I married for almost 30 years to my husband Tom. My only son Sam is already 28 years old and working well. And last year, he married a wonderful woman named Lena. They have a happy family. The time is that my child rearing is over and my husband retires in a few months. As a couple, we will be able to spend our days slowly. I'm thinking about the many things in the past. I and Tom have had our fights, but we have managed to make it so far. I was thinking about what kind of celebration for Tom's retirement day. You may have no idea, but I want you to agree to a divorce. What? Tom said it while we were eating. I'm tired of you. Did I miss hearing what he was saying? Maybe I'm getting old and my hearing is worse. Sorry? What did you say? I've told you, I asked you to divorce me. I want you to end the marriage. This time, I heard his words clearly. He wanted to end our marriage. I didn't understand what he meant. Wait a minute. What do you mean? Do you get a divorce suddenly? It's not out of the blue. I've made up my mind for a while. I'm going to leave you before I retire. What's the reason for that? I'm tired of you. What? What do you mean you're tired of me? It can't be helped because I'm tired of you. Wait a second. I can't get it. Please explain to me. Shut up. You're always bothering me. I'm retiring in 3 months, so get your old stuff and get the hell out before then. Wait a minute. It's too sudden. I can't deal with it.
I resisted it desperately, but he didn't listen to me at all. He confronted me with the divorce papers. I have no idea when he prepares the papers. He had kept them in a drawer. I thought I would be living with him for the rest of my life, but it was too sudden, so I lost my words.
I don't love you anymore. I don't want to live face to face with a dirty, spotted, wrinkled, bitchy old bat every day.
Oh my God, that's awful. That's what you thought? I don't have romantic feelings for Tom anymore either, but I love him because of being with him for such a long time. How could he say such a terrible thing to me? I'd been a housewife ever since I got married. That's why I had no way to survive if Tom left me. So I couldn't go anywhere. Tom didn't care about me. After he finished writing his parts, he left the divorce papers in front of me and went somewhere. Tom has always been a bit of a husbandless man. He didn't do any chores or say a kind word to me, but it wasn't a big deal for our age group. He used to hold both my hands and say,
"When you get married, you will join the family and support the house. Then I will protect this house and Anna."
I had planned many things for retirement, like traveling with Tom, but now he was asking me to get a divorce. I felt as if I'd been left alone in the dark. After a while, I found myself and I was angry with Tom to divorce me for such a selfish reason. Even if we get the divorce, I want to discuss it completely and go through with it. I need to be convinced. After all, Tom did not come home that day, so I couldn't sleep enough. Today was Saturday, and he came home in the morning. I tried to talk to Tom, but he quickly went to his room. He told me not to talk to him because he was sleepy. What's wrong with him? He has acted this way before when we have had fights, but it was never like that without any reason. I wanted to know the reason why he was suddenly divorcing me. Tom finally woke up. It was past 5 in the evening. Then he went to take a bath right away, so we finally had a chance to talk to each other at dinner. "Well, I can't accept you're suddenly divorcing me because you're tired of me, don't love me, etc. That's what young couples say. Tell me about the exact reason for the divorce."
Huh? I'm telling you, I don't want to be with a spotted, wrinkled old bat anymore.
That's not acceptable. I'm telling you.
Hey, come on. I put up with you being ugly because I'm gentle and there is no other man like me. I'm such a gentleman, but I've reached my limit. I can't live with an ugly woman like you.
Whenever I tried to talk to Tom, he kept saying the same abusive things to me.
Don't ask me nonsense. Tell me quickly when you are going to leave.
Are you listening? I can't be convinced, so how can I decide to get a divorce or leave the house? Once you give me a good reason for the divorce, I will decide what I'm going to do. Up until now, I've accepted his husbandly behavior because I was his wife. But if we are going to be a stranger, I can't stand my husband's arrogance. As I was not taking a step back, Tom said,
"That's enough."
He began to lie down on the sofa and turn on the TV. "Excuse me, I still don't finish my talk."
"I'm already done. Now you pack your bags and leave. That's all."
Then Tom stopped talking to me. He ignores anything I say and walks away from me, even when I stand in front of me. He stops having the meals I cook and starts to use convenience stores and supermarkets or eat out. I've tried changing the day and talking to him constantly, but he refuses me. When Tom would come home for work and see me, he would sigh and then spend the rest of the day as if I wasn't there. I wonder if there is any way to overcome this crisis. While I was thinking about this, I suddenly received a call from my son.
"Hello, Mom. I'm planning to celebrate your birthday with Lena. I'm thinking of going out for sushi with 4 of us, including Dad. How's that?"
I cried at the timing of Sam's call. It was as if a thread of tension had been broken. Sam was very surprised because I suddenly started crying.
What's wrong, Mom? What happened?
I told him that his father asked me to get a divorce. It doesn't make sense at all, but he wasn't to discuss the matter. Moreover, he was now treating me like air and then ignoring me.
Huh? What do you mean?
Sam said quietly, but his voice was angry.
I'm going over there for a minute and talking to my dad.
He came to our house that night.
Dad, what the hell is going on?
Tom was very surprised by Sam's sudden visit.
What happened? You came to visit all of a sudden. I've heard everything from Mom. What do you want with the divorce? We can't understand any reasons.
When my son said it, my husband stared at me.
You're the one who told Sam? You're a coward, you know that?
It ages since we talked to each other face to face. Because you have been ignoring and refusing to talk to me, right? If you had talked to me, we'd have worked it out, you and me.
Dad, I don't agree with you. I can't understand the reason for the divorce. Please take your time to talk.
Thanks to Sam saying so, Tom finally sat down to face me. Tom still stubbornly refuses to say the reasons.
I'm saying I'm tired of it. That's the end of it.
I was getting angry with Tom for saying such a thing, even in front of Sam. Sam was getting appalled.
You don't even care about our time together as a family anymore.
Remember? When Sam was a child, we used to travel around as a family, right? When I said this, Tom fell silent awkwardly. I said, "Look, we have also a record of Sam's childhood and our family photos in this album." I showed it on the shelf to him. I thought it would remind of the happy time we spent together as a family. Then Tom put away the album.
Enough! I won't change my mind whatever you do. I will divorce you. I don't care if I never see Sam.
This statement was too shocking to me. I guess I can't have a serious talk with him anymore. Alright, then let's separate for now.
Huh? What the hell are we separating? Divorce right now?
I'm telling you, I can't get a divorce now. When we get a divorce, I will get half of the retirement payment.
Why? That's crazy.
I was with you for 30 years. I deserve to get that.
Dad, you must pay that much because you're asking for divorce in a selfish way.
Sam said that, so Tom reluctantly agreed. He may think I won't sign the divorce papers unless he agreed. Anyway, we became separated like this. And Sam said, "Come to our house," because Lena had given her consent.
Dad has never done any chores, so he can't live by himself. If you live separately for a while, he will feel how much he appreciates you.
Thank you, Sam. I'm really glad you came today too. Tom went out with a sulking look on his face, so I packed my bags and left home with Sam. Hi, Anna. It's been a while. I'm sorry, Lena. I didn't mean to bother you. Please don't take that way. No problem. Don't worry about it. Please stay as long as you like. Lena is a wonderful wife. Recently, my life with Tom was like living in hell. So the time I spent with my kind son and his wife was peaceful, comfortable, and happy like heaven.
Why were you so reluctant to divorce Dad?
I had a feeling that there were other reasons for him, so I was going to investigate. But I needed money for that, so I started working a while ago.
I see. I'd have paid for the investigation.
That's not how it works. I don't want to bother you by parent selfishness. Besides, even if we get divorced, it would be better to have a proper job. Since Tom started treating me like air, I'd been thinking about what I would do after he left me. I had a bookkeeping license when I was young, so I looked everywhere for a job that would hire me, even if it was only part-time. I found a company that was seeking someone. They appreciated my experience that I had worked in the same industry for about 12 years, so I managed to get hired. All I have to do now is investigate Tom and find a place to live alone.
That's my mom, but you don't have to find a room to live alone.
What?
When I and Lena heard about your divorce, we both agreed to live with you. So if you like, we will live together.
Besides, it would be great if you could stay home with us. Lena rubbed her tummy saying so. What? No way! My son and his wife nodded happily. Surprisingly, Lena was pregnant.
I was actually going to tell you on your birthday.
I was more than happy to find out the birth of my grandchild. Then I had to break up with that man as soon as possible. I requested an investigation by a detective agency. I received the result of the investigation within a week or so. I was worried that the investigation was so fast, but there was solid evidence of infidelity. Tom went to a hotel with a young woman, invited her to his house, and did not come out until morning. Apparently, the separation had made him let down his guard, and he was hanging around with the adulterer partner. I went to see Tom with the evidence.
What the hell? What are you doing here?
I'm ready for a divorce. Tom's expression brightened when I said that.
Finally.
He handed me the divorce papers with a smile.
Oh, by the way, I'm telling you, I'm not giving you half of my retirement payment.
I knew it. You would give it to the young woman, right?
What?
Tom was upset for a second.
Oh yeah, let's go to a hostess bar.
That's fine. You don't have to hide it. I know everything. Saying that, I showed Tom the photo as the evidence of the affair.
Why is this?
I hired a professional. You were having an affair. That's why you wanted a divorce. Tom was surprised, but he took the offensive.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to leave you and be with a lovely, attractive woman. And I will give your share of the retirement payment to my new wife.
I can't help but laugh. I'm disgusted with you. I know how you feel. I don't mind, but I'm sure you will regret it.
Huh? You're so a loser. I never regret anything.
I felt sorry for Tom. He didn't understand anything. I started to fill out the divorce papers.
It's great to finally be free from an ugly bitch like you. My new wife is in her 30s, but she likes older men. She thinks I have the confidence of an adult to handle things well. You know what I mean? I'm attractive.
I don't know. I finished filling out the divorce papers, answering that in my mind. I resubmit them. Then I headed for the front door. Tom was making a phone call to his affair partner. He looks very happy. Our son and his wife were waiting for me in the car in front of our house. They kindly thanked me for my hard work. Then I went straight to the city office and submitted the divorce papers. Finally, my divorce from Tom for 30 years was finalized. But my revenge started from here. First, through my lawyer, I demanded half of the retirement allowance and alimony as a division of property. Besides, I sent a content-certified letter to my ex-husband's workplace. It was the time for him to be retired very soon. According to the lawyer, Tom was angry that the employees looked at him coldly because of me. So his retirement celebration turned out to be a simple one. He had constantly refused to give me the retirement payment, but when I told him through the lawyer I was willing to go to court, he started to get upset. In the end, he paid me the retirement payment and compensation in one lump sum. This settled the matter, but Tom had more difficulties ahead of him. A few months later, Sam received a call from Tom. According to what he had heard, he had tried to remarry his affair partner, but she had run away just before he was about to marry her. Moreover, Tom's affair partner wanted to open a restaurant, which had been her dream for a long time, and asked him to pay out of his retirement payment. Tom was planning to pay out the money when he got his retirement payment, but he borrowed money to pay for it because the tenant he was targeting was very popular. He was told by an affair partner that he needed to sign a contract immediately. A few days later, after he got his retirement payment, he tried to withdraw the money to pay off the debt, but his retirement payment had been withdrawn and was gone. The tenant that the affair partner was trying to rent still seems to have the sign. It says a tenant wanted. It means Tom was completely scammed. The police have been notified and consulted, but even months later, nobody was caught by the police. That's a pity, but in the end, it was Tom's fault for having an affair, so I don't feel sorry for him. I will continue to work hard at my current job and live my life. I will take care of my son, his wife, and my grandchildren who will be born in the future. It will make me so happy. If Tom had not had an affair, he would have been able to retire properly, receive all the retirement benefits, and live a comfortable retirement life. But he was such a foolish husband. I think it would be better for her to be with her son's family than to spend her life with a jerk husband. I hope she will be able to live a peaceful and comfortable retirement life. Thank you for watching to the end. Please subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.